Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I am Starco Gaming and we are back with another Dragon Champion video, guys. We are now 8 days away from the buff event to return, so today we're gonna talk about how to get ready for the buff event, obviously. But before we get into that, guys, first of all, make sure to drop a like on this video. Every likes help the channel, and it is the only way that YouTube knows that this video is awesome, that I am awesome, and that this content should be promoted to more people. And also, guys, if you're new to the game, level 15 or below, make sure to use the promo code TheStarCode to get $10 worth of free stuff. To do so, it is very simple, guys. You go in the settings, use promo code, and you enter the code STARCO, S-T-A-R-K-O, and you will receive $10 worth of free stuff, which include 500 drachmas and 250,000 gold, giving you a huge boost early on in the game to kick in some awesome progression. So the buff event, first let's take a look at what they are telling you you need for the buff event. Then we're going to discuss if it's true or not. So apparently we're gonna jump in here. So last time I did only make it to stage 4. Yes, my pride team was terrible, but here, if we look at that, so prime members only require hero 7 stars. That is required. If you don't have 5 pride to 7 stars, you are screwed. Then hero level 80, true, you need hero level 80 because this is very difficult. Ability level 6, not all the ability needs to be level 6. We're gonna take a look at that in a minute. Gear level 11, it is possible to get it done with gear level 10, but it is very difficult and you need a lot of RNG. So I have to admit that gear level 11 is probably true in this situation. And rune level 16, this is definitely true. At any content, you need to have your rune level 16, and you need to have good stats on those runes, which we're going to be discussing in a minute too. So I can't review what in theory you need for this event, but if we go deeper here, if we go into the pride roster, so what is the basic you actually want to go with to beat this event? The basic is pretty simple. Hera lead. Hera is the #1 lead for this event. The leadership has a great synergy with Salvador, which we're going to cover a little bit later, but submission holds. Leadership ability, all allies from pride gain a 20% dodge increase. 20% dodge, it can be a game changer in either getting your ass kicked or surviving in a good RNG run. When the battle starts, all ally defender gains taunt for 2 turns. So Salvador starts with taunt for 2 turns, which means on the first turn that Salvador gets, he can actually use a shell and then just tank like a monster without taking damage, which give him a huge advantage. Then all ally pride and tactical gain invisibility for 2 turns, which guarantee that your Renara will be invisible for 2 turns, even if your Salvador get his taunt removed. And all ally pride fighter gain a damage increase for 2 turns. So the fighters get a good damage increase. And also Hera is considered a tactician, so she gets invisibility at the start. So at the start you have 2 invisibility, which is on the Renara, on Hera, and then you get 1 taunt on Salvador, and then your pride fighter gain damage increase, which include do believe he is a fighter. Yes, he is a fighter, and he is a fighter. So those 2 characters we get the damage increase. So first, most important, guys, if you're gonna level 1 ability on Hera, it is the leadership. This is literally the only reason she is in the group. Also, her 3rd skill is amazing, but the leadership is really what's the most important. Now the second most important ability to get up on her is her 3rd skill, because when you actually use this ability on your tank will gain dodge increase, critical increase, and apply both to 1 ally for 1 turn. So she gets the same buff, and the tank gets the same buff pretty much, and then all other allies gain invisibility for 2 turns. And if she did not get it during the turn 2, she will gain invisibility again, but that reduces the amount of people that can actually be targeted when this skills is being used. And the other skills that will be my number 3 on this list will be Cat Stealth. If Renara doesn't take damage for a turn, she gains invisibility for 1 turn and recover 30% of her turn meter at the end if you get it to level 6. But at level 5 it's 25% turn meter, so it's definitely solid, and those skills are not that important, to be honest. It is not going to do, it's not going to be damage game changing here. She's just there for the leadership and the third skill mostly. So now that we covered the leadership, what you want next is a good tank, and you only have one option, and this option is actually outstanding. Salvador is an amazing tank for this content, guys. By the way, oh wait, let's go back to Hera. I forgot to cover runes. Runes, you want to give her a little bit of HP, which is why we have 2 HP runes, and then the rest you want to go speed as close as possible. 200% speed is going to be so important against the buff event, because when you hit the second wave you need to be so fast to kill one target really early on, that you need that speed as high as possible. By the way, guys, if you want to see my legendary event guide for the buff event, it's actually in the description down below. You have a link for the playlist legendary event. Click on there, you're gonna find it in that playlist, which I actually cover everything you need to do inside the fights. Now we're already talking about how to build those characters. So yes, speed as close as possible at 200%. That's pretty much all that matters on her. Artifact, you want to go with something that gives you HP if you're going to go with something, because you can see her HP is very low. The only thing she needs help with is HP. So that is my recommendation there. So next we're going to talk about Salvador. Salvador is a tank here. You want him at gear 11. You want them all at gear 11, by the way, guys. Don't need to get them past gear 11, but if you can, that's a plus. Like if I wanted to, I could go with this one, but this one, terrible stats, definitely not worth it. This one will actually be better if I wanted to go with this one. Maybe by the time the event comes out, so we can actually have more survivability, but I'm not really, you know, I don't feel it's that important. And this is actually the only character that you don't really care about the speed of the character, to be honest. It doesn't matter. This character, it's all about defensive. You want to have his HP as high as possible, his shield as high as possible, and his tenacity and armor as high as possible. But I'm going to cover that in a minute. First, we're going to talk about the skills that this guy need to have maxed out. So first of all, you have this one, Power of the Ancient, increase physical armor by 35%, an additional 5% for each living pride character in the party. If you remove that, here you see you don't not only lose 5% armor, but you lose 5% armor for each living pride character in the party. So if you are in the full pride team, that means you lose pretty much 30%, 35% armor by not having this ability to level 6. So that just shows how important this ability to level 6 is. You have to have this ability to level 6. That is the most important. Second most important is this one, Steel Shell. Gain a Steel Shell for 2 turns. The Steel Shell decrease all damage taken by 90%, a 50% chance to get a debuff immunity for 2 turns. And if you don't get it to level 6, pretty much you start with the 2-turn cooldown, which pretty much guarantee that your Salvador is gonna be dead by the time you can actually use that skill. So you need that skill to level 6. This is a no-brainer. This just mandatory for your Salvador. And then the second skills, actually no, the third skill, no, that's the only 2 skills that actually matter. Now if you have this, I'll actually go with the first skill as the next priority, because it applies shield. Pretty much. See, strike of the 5th, deal 210% physical damage to enemy and 40% chance to gain a shield as well. 10% maximum HP, but at level 5 it's fine still. Really the 2 most important skill here is this skill and this skill. The other 2 skills can definitely be at level 5 or level 4 depending where you're standing. It does not matter that much. And then if we go in the runes, you're gonna see runes is all about tenacity. We want to get that tenacity as high as possible. 85% still too low in my opinion. We need more tenacity from artifact, which we are on the process of working, but you want to get this guy tenacity as close as possible to 100% if you can, so it does get the buff less when we get to the last round, especially. And then as secondary stats, you want to have both HP, armor, and tenacity as much as possible. And here you can see HP, armor. Here we did put speed here. We could definitely go with armor. That could actually be solid, but apparently this is the only one that I always get a speed primary, sadly. See, I could definitely go with this one if I wanted, but its speed is already very, very low, so we're gonna keep that there. Personally, I think I have a pretty solid build on him, so I'm not really worried about the armor. But you can see secondary stats: armor, shield, health. Here we have health, tenacity here, and armor primary. Here we have armor primary again with HP, shield, HP, armor. So you can see the pattern here. Shield with HP, armor, and then here that shall be tenacity. If I had a tenacity primary here, that will actually be optimal. And let's see, I do have one I can actually drop there, and I think that will give him his tenacity upgrade that we actually need. So we're going to be switching that, and we don't really lose that much on other stats. I think we actually gain a lot on what we need, and boom, so that's going to fix his tenacity 100%. So this is how you want to build this character: as much armor and as much tenacity as possible, then as much HP. That is what you need in these characters. And skills to level 6, the third skill and the passive ability. So now that you took care of the two the most important, the leader and the tank, you have to take care of the healer. The healer, Renara, is recommended. Now, can you make it happen with Roxy? Yes, but you have to have Roxy well built. Gear 11, all skills to level 6 and over 200 speed is mandatory. But Renara is still better than Roxy for this event. And Renara, pretty much you want to get her speed over 200%, and after that you can go either give her HP or tenacity, whatever you want to give her. It does not matter that much, and this still a magic armor. This is trash. And artifact, you want to go with damage and HP, because the healing is based on damage done, and the HP just increase the survivability, obviously. Now if we talk about skills, first you have this skills. See, second chance is a skill. At the end of each turn, Renara restore 15% of maximum health and 15% maximum shield to any ally who has 2 or more stack of regeneration. All allies with full health after that effect gain cheat death. So this is a outstanding leadership, and yes, you can have it to level 5. To be honest, you get a little bit more health and a little bit more shield, not health, but a little bit more shield. I think that's still viable at level 5. It's fine, but it's better at level 6. This skill at level 5 is fine. Obviously, if you can get it to level 6, is great. This is the most important ability to get to level 6, to be honest, because this is the mass recovery. Heal all allies by 400% Renara magic damage, which is why the damage is important, the artifact, and apply regeneration to everybody for 3 turns, which actually gonna help you to trigger your passive ability. So this skills is very important at level 6, because regeneration lasts 1 more turn and 50% more healing. And then the basic attack is not important, to be honest. It is not important. So really get this skills to level 6, then get this skills to level 6, and then if you want to get this one to level 6, it's fine. Level 5 is totally fine. So this is how you want to set up your Renara, and you can see her shield is actually quite crazy. It's probably one of the most shield I have on the character. That is ridiculous, but she takes a lot of damage, so that's very helpful. So once you get those 3 characters, who is the character next that is the most important? And some people are gonna laugh their ass off, but he is really that important only for this buff event, and it is Kegi. Kegi is very, very, very important for this, because for 2 reasons. This one with the Boreas setup here, so you can see Alliance of Winds, increase magic damage by 30%, and you kind of want to target to have Boreas in your party if you can. If Boreas is in the party when the battle starts, Kegi and Boreas both gain a dodge increase for 2 turns, which increase their survivability by a lot. And you can definitely have this ability to level 5, but level 6 is much better. But the most important ability on him is this skills wind speed, gain ace and apply it to 4 allies for 2 turns, so pretty much the whole party get it. Ace increase, which increase your speed. If you actually can use that right before you move to wave 2, that's actually the optimal way to use this gun. This skill is outstanding. It gives you so much more speed on your team, which makes your team so much better. This is literally the only skills that is very important to get level 6. Now if you go next one, that'll actually be this one for me to actually get to level 6, because well, it does a lot of AoE damage, especially if you crits, but deal 190% magic damage to all enemy and a 50% chance to increase the currency for 3 turns, which can be actually a great way to actually beat up buff. You know, buff is annoying if you don't have extra currency, so that is definitely outstanding. And the currency lasts 1 more turn if you have it to level 6, which is very important in my opinion. So that'll actually be the second ability to get the level 6. Then this one will be the third ability to level 6. And this ability, if you can get it to level 6, it's great because you have a chance to get 2 attacks. Higher chance to get 2 attacks. It's 50% chance versus 25% chance. But other than that, level 5 is fine because this is not going to be your biggest damage dealer character. He's really there for the third skill to get to put the ace on your team, and to give dodge on Boreas if you have Boreas, obviously. And obviously you could actually give him some extra stuff here. I do think I'm actually gonna give him the extra HP here. I don't really need that at this point, and this is actually not that hard to get, so we're gonna give him a little bit more HP. Sadly, that is just armor, that's physical damage, magic damage. Yeah, not that great, but this one will increase the survivability a little bit, so I like it. So this artifact is HP artifact, damage artifact. You can actually, it does not really matter. It's really about the HP on this guy. You want to get this HP as high as possible, so he dies. It takes longer to actually kill him because he is the squishiest character in the game, in my personal opinion. And then that is the 4 more important characters for your buff. And then lastly, guys, you have a choice. You can go with any of the other characters that can get the job done, but my recommendation is Boreas. Boreas is the strongest damage dealer in this. And by the way, guys, for both Renara and Kegi, you want the speed 200%, 200 plus. Here you can see I'm missing a little bit of speed, but we can live with that. We can definitely live with that, but it's close to 200. So you want those speed as close to 200 as possible. And for this guy, it's the same. Speed is very important, to close to 200. And then after that, critical chance is the most important, to get that critical chance as high as possible, so you can crit when you actually use his big second ability, obviously. But I'm going to take a look at his skills. So speed as secondary stats here is going to be the most important. Critical chance after that. For the runes artifact, you want to go with critical damage artifact because you already have so much critical chance. And then the skills first, the passive ability is very important to get to level 6 because unity here, the title of the ability, increase physical damage by 10% for each living pride character in the party. If Kegi is on the battlefield, both Kegi and Boreas gain armor increase for 2 turns at the start of the battle. And you can see here physical damage by 10% for each living pride in the team. If we get that down here, you lose so much. Basically, it's 3 multiplied by 5, so you lose 15% physical damage. That is a huge difference. So you need this ability to level 6, and that does so much more damage for him. And then you need this ability to level 6 because you get aced. Very important, but 1 power. Boreas gain a critical damage increase, a damage increase, and ace increase for 2 turns. If Kegi is on the battlefield, it receives the same buff and recover 30% of the turn meter. I think that one only applied to Boreas, but that is actually outstanding. If you drop that there, you lose the ace for 2 turns, and that ace for 2 turns is very important because he is your main damage dealer, and you need to be able to do as much damage as possible. So priority number 1 for the ability ability to level 6, priority number 2, and then this is going to be the priority number 3 because Wounding Arrow dealt 300% physical damage to an enemy. When you crits, you do a lot of damage with that. I've seen this ability do over 50,000 damage on a good crit, so that's actually outstanding ability. And it inflicts 2 stack of bleeding, which is very, very useful. And then you have this one, finishing shot, deal 200% physical damage to an enemy. If the target has the lowest health of their party, this attack deal 250% damage instead. So this ability also important to get a level 6. Personally, I think this is the only characters that you need to have all ability to level 6 because he's going to be 75% of your damage, so he's really important to build. And he's going to be the guy that's going to snipe the targets you need to snipe at the start of each round, which is going to be so important. So this guy is the guy to level up all the skills to level 6 and buff the crap out of this guy if you can. Like, if you can drop that on him, drop that, because physical damage is increased, critical chances increase. If you get him to, you know, all the gear on the gear 11, that's even better. But even at gear 11 like that, without any extra stuff, he is gonna be outstanding anyway. So this is how you get this team ready, guys. This is literally how you get your team ready for buff event. This is my recommended team for this event. I do believe this is the strongest team. And yes, we do have 2 shitty characters in there, which is Kegi and Hira, but in the Pride team, they perform so well that it is needed for this team. So hopefully this video is going to help you guys prepare for the buff event. If you have any question about any of the other characters we did not talk about in this video, let me know in the comment section, or join my Discord server and ask me the question directly on the Discord server. The Discord server link is in the description down below. So guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and check the bell to get notified for our new content. We post video on a daily basis. And well, you guys keep enjoying playing Dragon Champion, and I'll see you guys again in the next video. Thank you.